Okay with being on camera?
Here we go.
You're okay with being on camera? Oh man, look at that timing. Get on the microphone. Welcome back to another weekly dose of common sense. I am your host, the
Chaos
Jose
is
Keo.
reigning in the studio right now, even as we speak.
As
Jose is introing the show, Laval is through the door and sitting down. I'm doing the play-by-play.
Nice play-by-play with Dr. Bob there.
there's an excuse though.
Oh, I would love to hear it. Is it because you're black?
No, it's because of it's women drivers, man. Let me tell you.
Dang, can we
Amen.
just make fun of everyone today?
I was I was gonna mention this before I tell the quick story because we got a lot of women listeners.
Go ahead.
And there's nothing like being calm though under pressure.
Okay.
And when you witness an accident like happens like right in front of your face where the female driver that's in front of you wanted to make a right turn from the middle lane to the right, and then the female on the right who wants to get past everybody because she's pissed that she's late for maybe her hair appointment,
Maybe the radio show.
don't know, maybe
Something having to do with cosmetics.
and then as I just sit back and watch this accident happen in front of me, I didn't even flinch or anything. I just go, bam, shake my head and say, I understand the rules in Saudi Arabia now. Totally get it. Totally get why women can't drive.
Well,
let's keep those cards and letters, folks.
yes, we are a feminist show here, and
But they can drive in Saudi Arabia now, so I take that back.
and somehow the car crash accident report shows an ginormous increase in car accidents in Saudi Arabia.
I promise you it has something to do with texting.
Oh yeah.
I think 80% of them are on the phone. I really do. So check it out.
I agree.
It does bother me to see makeup being applied, especially mascara. First of all, I don't like eyeballs anyways. Like, I don't like eyeballs. So when like a movie zooms in on an eyeball, or my wife is doing her eye stuff, whatever it is, I can't look at it. I get queasy about it. When I go to an optometrist, they're like, okay, we're gonna put these binoculars up to your eyes. I said, please don't. Do what you gotta do without doing that. Eye drops. When I put eye drops in, I just flip out on myself. It's so weird.
Really?
Yeah, the worst are contact lenses.
Ooh,
Anyone
I
putting
tried
in contact
that.
lenses?
That
Oh
is
my
kinda
god!
weird.
That
That
is
is
weird.
weird.
So I knew this woman in Pittsburgh, and the commute in Pittsburgh, being a major city, was like an hour and a half each way.
Oh no!
So she would get in the car in the morning in her bathrobe.
Yeah.
She would arrive at work fully dressed, makeup, pantyhose, the whole thing.
It's on,
Did it all in the
it's on
car.
the way.
Back in the good old days,
When you could
Pantyhose.
do that, right? Pantyhose.
that was the best part.
How did she do that? That's the question. How did she get those on?
She does that at 70
Ooh.
in the inside lane.
Oh yeah.
Well, on top of that, it's women that can take off their bras without taking off their shirts. That's weird to me.
Oh,
That's
I
so
give
weird.
them. They are Houdini. They can
Right.
get out of a straitjacket. If they can do that, they can get out of a straitjacket. For real.
It's like the scene in Flashdance.
Oh yeah. Or if they Mel Gibson themselves out of the bra, keeper. She's a keeper. She pops her shoulder out of socket just to get that bra off. She's a keeper.
Well, speaking of all this, I got to give a shout out to the Haktua girl out there who has become famous within literally 2 hours of her being posted online. I had no idea about her until I was actually down in Miami, and someone had brought it up. They asked me, they're like, what is this Haktua girl thing? What is she talking about? And I could tell what she was talking about, but I said, what are you talking about? So she showed me the video. I was like, oh man, that's fantastic.
She's phenomenal.
Well, it was
She's a keeper.
it was perfect because it's Pride Month.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's so perfect about it. It's Pride Month. And it is, look, you should be very proud of having someone that you love, that you're able to be intimate with. That is one way of looking at it. The other way that they kind of made it to be completely off the wall, where you're kind of showcasing your sexual advances in public. Now, her saying that is not the same thing as her showing up to a parade in, strap on dildos and leather straps or covering her bodily parts like that.
They do that at those?
Have you ever been to a pride parade?
No.
Dude, I tell you,
Never.
I went to the first time and the last time.
Oh.
I've been to one.
It's no big deal. It's just just a bunch of gay guys and gay women parading around.
But the thing is, I have a ton of gay friends, and they don't. That's not like that. That's not it. Like they certainly like to have fun. That's every human being. They like to be, very happy in their relationship. That's every human being. They like to showcase their love for their significant other. That's every human being. But we don't go out there and just start acting the daggone fool out there. To me, I'm not showcasing my body in front of little kids. It's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah, heterosexuality is not a thing that we wear as heterosexuals as a badge of honor. I don't think I need to display that.
And here's the thing. You can't say that being that way is normal when you have to teach it to kids, when you have to normalize it to kids. If you have to normalize something to little kids, then it's certainly not normal.
Yeah. Just add it to the list of diabolical things that the educational system is, no pun intended, shoving down everyone's throats.
Pun absolutely intended. Pun absolutely intended. But that's the thing. This is the sad part. And it was actually brought up. I was just down in Miami for VooCon. If you've never seen it or heard of it, certainly look it up. VOUSCON. They should become sponsors of the show. But
I saw your videos, man. I thought you were either at a Joel Osteen rock concert or a cult gathering. I had no idea what was going on in those videos.
I'm okay with it being a cult, I guess, because at least it's in a positive manner, and we're not sipping Kool-Aid. It's going to kill us the next day.
Oh.
But one of the things that was brought up was how many hours per year or how many times per year someone goes to church. So it's come down to the point where the normal American now goes to church 8 times per year, which I think I've asked you at least 8 times to come to my church.
I'm behind. I know I'm behind.
I know it's okay. But the way they equated it, because I love when they compare things to kind of showcase how we should actually look at this. And when they said your child goes to school for 7 hours a day for 100 and how many days per year that they go to school?
160.
Yeah, let's go 165 days per year, 7 hours per day they're at the school, and you're only taking your kid to church for 8 days of the entire year. And for that 8th day, you're only there for like an hour and a half. They're saying, what did you expect to happen with your children? Were they going to grow up to have godly morals? Were they going to grow up to have godly ethics? Or were they going to grow up to be educated on smut and filth and sexual education at an early age? Because all they're surrounded by are teachers that want to normalize a legitimate qua to them, or they're saying, these kids here that want to identify as cats, and we're going to put a litter box in the bathroom. What do you think was going to happen to our children at that point?
Well, exactly what is happening right now, to where you got 8 and 9-year-olds saying, you know what, this girl body that I'm in, it's not for me. I think I need to grow whatever is between daddy's legs. But I don't know what's between daddy's legs.
Right.
Because I've never seen one, but I think there's something there because they told me something different.
Yeah, why would they even know what that is?
Why are we even talking about sexuality within this early stages of school anyway? And I've always said this before, the accountability level for parents, the government, because that's where most of this is coming from, the propaganda is designed to take away that responsibility, that accountability, and just present the kids to the community, present the kids to the state, because it makes it easier for any type of communist government to roll in. Well, your kids are already not your responsibility. They belong to the state once you have them.
And then once they get home, they belong to, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it's as many times as we've had these conversations, and we talk about how insane they are. Just start a list of all the insane things that we have to kind of bring to the light for folks to kind of recognize that there's something bigger at play.
So everyone knows that I'm a pretty big believer, and we've had the discussions concerning the fact that it is not, a fight against other human beings that we're having. It's a fight against evil.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that makes me enjoy going to these types of events that I was just at down in Miami, where there's thousands of people who all show up, who all just want to kind of hear, what people have to say regarding, their biblical beliefs and rejoice and worship and all that. It's a mentality shift. It's a mentality shift that our country needs to have, but it starts at home. When we come back from this break, we're going to jump into that, the mentality shift that we need to have going forward to change the course of America, because we are certainly not on the right path as a country. 346-3000 is the number to call in here at the WYSL station. We are the politically correcting voice, and we'll be right back after this.
And here's the new show theme.
To live the quality of life we deserve, freedom informed by our Constitution, our laws and traditions, we need to pick the best leaders possible. Recent experience certainly illustrates that. Free and accurate.
So you were able to escape the crash?
Yeah. It's on St. Paul's. They know where you're going to be able to go, left or right. Once you're on St. Paul Boulevard, it's like you're at the mercy of the single lane. That's the only place where it turns into a double.
Yeah. Okay. So, over your driving park?
No, Upper Falls.
Oh, over there. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. I was like, damn. I saw it. I was like, crash.
So Malik knows what to do to fix the problems downtown.
Oh my gosh, I saw that. I know we're gonna talk about that.
Did he say? I think isn't he shutting it down early?
He's gonna shut it
and
down.
then put more lights.
Yeah.
When you have a fight and people get shot at 10 o'clock, close the park at 8.
He's going to close it at 8, mess it up for everybody else, and then he's going to, if anybody's trespassing, they will be arrested.
Typical educrat.
He's gonna what?
If anyone is trespassing, they will be arrested.
Oh, so we're gonna arrest people for trespassing instead of
Another appearance ticket.
Yep.
Great.
He's good at this, like crisis management. He's really good at that.
Is he?
He's phenomenal. He's the best at it. Today's opposite Monday. Oh, we got the camera over there, right?
Yeah.
It looks good. The camera looks way better than
Then that little piece of shit.
No,
that one looks great.
This one's good. It was the first one the very first one was.
Well, that's the one that's like 10 years old. I paid $19 for it.
Oh, so, still doing good for that.
All right, there.
We can put that on.
Huh?
It's got the attachment to put it on there.
Oh. Hey.
All right, we're back with the politically correcting voice, Lavelle Lewis, myself, the Jose P.O., along, of course, with Dr. Bob and Bobby D back there. I don't even see Bobby D, actually. Is he here?
Oh, he's here.
All right, good.
He's elsewhere. I don't see him in the air chair.
Oh, there he is. Well, there you go. The dog started barking.
Eli got Oh, there you go.
The camera didn't catch that one. We're doing a little different camera angle change this week, just to keep you guys on your toes. That's all. Plus, you get to see Dr. Bob a little bit. Go ahead, wave to them, Dr. Bob. It's behind you.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Definitely feel free to join us on our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of those, and sign up for subscription, because that way you get alerted when we go live, which again, we will be going live on Thursday during the presidential debates.
Yeah.
That's our monthly podcast night. That should be a great time. We're actually got to solidify that information this week. Actually, after this, we're going to talk a little bit more. But let's get back to the topic at hand, which is mentality shift. That's one of my biggest foci for going to these types of events, is not to get all the rah rah shish kebab type of thing, not to get into the mentality or into the, you know, I'm feeling motivated for 2 days and then on the third day everything changes. You know, I feel like a lot of people go to church on Sundays and then forget about God the rest of the week. And I understand all that. My insight into my personal beliefs about God is that he is omnipresent, he's all around, but also there is no time with God. And what you put out into the world of what you really truly want, you know, the world can then shift around that as long as you are in line with the will of God. For example, I've always told people, you know, when they ask me, when are you going to run for mayor? When are you going to run for mayor? And my answer has always been when the city gets so bad that they will want a mayor like a Mayor Jose Pio that will come in and put their foot down on the nonsense. When the city has gotten so bad that they're asking for law and order to happen. Now, I'm not saying I'm the cause for all the nonsense going around the city, but we have seen a ginormous increase in nonsense happening this past year. And this is, again, after a year where violence allegedly has gone down, according to the mayor. You know, we had an increase in violence after COVID, and now we're seeing more nonsense that has more quality of life issues that has turned into stabbings and shootings. We had multiple shootings at MLK Park this weekend. We had a guy shot multiple times down in the beautiful Shalat Beach area. And now it's becoming that people are afraid to go to the beach area. And I'm sitting there saying, you're not going to the beach at 2 o'clock in the morning. Right. You're going to the beach at 2 o'clock in the afternoon where there's no nonsense. And they'll bring up, oh, there's fights and stuff like that. Okay. You're acting like there weren't fights back in the day. I distinctly recall stories of how, you know, different gangs would show up, biker gangs and such would show up for beef battles down at the beach area and cause a little bit of ruckus, and then it'll be broken up and then people go on their lovely merry way. What we're seeing today, no one understands how to handle their emotions in any kind of way. They don't know how to value their life, let alone anyone else's life. They don't know how to respond to the emotions that they're feeling inside, because what you think is what you feel is how you act. And when you go through that process of your mentality being fight or flight every single day, you're living in not just poverty of financial, but also, and more importantly, in my opinion, poverty of the mindset, where you see no benefit of waking up in the morning to go do something better for your life because everything around you has constantly been worse and worse. For the vast majority of people who are on, I just saw this stat the other day, vast majority of people who are on public assistance, public housing, welfare, stuff like that, they are the, on average, fourth generation of being on government assistance. Fourth generation of them. So the vast majority of people who are dealing with what people will claim as poverty in this city, who are consistently claiming it's because of white supremacy, it's because of white privilege, it's because of white flight, it's because of disinvestment from politicians. You got to understand that mentality that people have had for generations, and it has not gone away, obviously, because we still continue to see people living in poverty every single day. And when they come to a, let's say, a speech council, or maybe they DM me or message me saying, hey, you know, rents are too high, what's going on? The landlords are slumlords, this and the other. And when I ask them, it's a simple question. I want to ask everybody that's listening as well. Who controls your life? Who is it that controls your decision making? Because when you sit there and blame everything on everyone else, you never put the accountability on yourself. And here's a funny thing about those who are self-made and those who are living in poverty. Either way, you're self-made. You put yourself in that position of poverty. You put yourself in that position of being a multimillionaire because of the decisions you make every single day. Not only of what you will do or are going to do that day, but also of what you won't do. And that was a mentality shift that I was looking for this past weekend at this convention, was that mentality shift of and I heard someone say it in a couple different ways, and then a different preacher talked about, being involved with politics, and I was just like, man, this entire weekend was made for me. And it was along the lines of not just what you were going to do tomorrow to get you to that point that you want to be at in the next year or 2 years, whatever it may be, but what are you not going to do that's going to take you away from that goal and take you away from that glory of God, take you away from that will of God, take you away from that path that God wants you on, that he wants to bring you back to that point. But it's a lot easier to do it when you're not doing the stupid junk that you would consistently do, not realizing that it's only, making you happy for the moment and not beneficial for the long term. Give me your thoughts on that, because I just rambled on for a minute there.
You went deep in there, but what I was thinking while you're talking, like it, how they say if you give somebody something, it really only helps the giver, right? So if someone's asking for food, if someone's short, asking for money, investments, all those things, it helps the giver, not the person. But you teach a man to fish, teach him how to eat for the rest of his life. And they found a way to sell that to our community, our families, that this victimized mentality of suppressing yourself and not really looking how to better yourself. I'm not the well-versed Bible guy, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff in the Bible that talks about your own work ethic, your own merit coming back to benefit you some way, somehow.
If you don't work, you don't eat. Very simple.
Right. And just to hear generational wealth get passed down in the welfare system, that is probably one of the main reasons why we have a lot of the crime issues, where I can't even blame it on lack of money, because there's a lot of money in the hood. There's a lot of money being made in the hood every single day. Thousands upon thousands, millions upon millions of dollars being made in the hood.
Nail salons, hair salons, clubs, party rooms, liquor stores,
corner stores, small grocery stores, laundromats. There's money everywhere. Gas stations. And then when you have politicians brag about the investments they've helped secure for the community, current state assembly members bragging over, I don't know how many millions of dollars is being given to one specific area in the city. And then you ask, okay, if this is $8 to $10 million, who's managing that money?
Yeah, I think that there's not only that, where you said it perfectly, where you just kind of pay for the issue, where really you're just buying votes is what it is. And that's what we see a lot with like these higher up people, like the assembly members and the Congress members.
Everybody loves a ribbon cut.
Right.
Everybody loves a ribbon cut, boy. But if there's a community event that's been going around for 125 years, you won't catch them there.
No.
I guarantee you have his fist pumped up super high for the gay pride event coming up. He'll be doing cartwheels and busting out back shots. Who knows what our current mayor. We have currently the weakest mayor in the country.
You're going to say in the country, the Chicago mayor, it just came out that he spent $30,000 on makeup.
There's weak and there's dumb.
Okay.
I didn't say dumbest.
Okay. I would not put Malik as dumb.
I would not know. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Well, he's been in politics for what, 25 years?
That's all he's done is politics. From losing money in city school district to, giving people bad loans in ESL. He's been doing a lot of, maneuvering to position himself in this role to where, again, a strong mayor would not come into the council chambers with a mask on, 7 months removed from COVID, like he's Obama, right? Like,
yeah.
Where's the strength in that? How do we as citizens have faith in this 6'2" overshoe wearing scrawny dude who's walking in council chambers with a mask on?
Yeah. And this is the thing. There's going to be people out there who are going to want to be HR managers, who are going to be language police and sit there and say, you shouldn't be saying that. You should be kind. You should be nice. No, it is much better to be honest than it is to be nice.
I think by now they know they got the wrong one.
Yeah, wrong station, wrong show, wrong guys, wrong everything. So don't even try that here.
Don't even try it.
Certainly feel free to call. 346-3000 is the number to call here at the WYSL station. Certainly feel free to call. We would love to hear from you. Would love to have the conversation of why you think the current mayor is strong and can bring about the change we want to see in the city, but I just don't agree. We'll be right back after this.
They're coming to Six Flags.
I saw them in Korea.
Hornell's now?
Sorry?
Hornell's on the list now? Or they always been on?
Oh, they always been on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cornell, Penn Yan, Olean, Clarence, Batavia, Corning.
Don't Hornell have a university?
Cornell? No, you're thinking Cornell.
Cornell.
Cornell's in Italy.
Cornell. Okay.
Cornell's university.
All right.
We might have to look at.
Where's Hobart?
That's in Geneva.
Geneva. Okay.
We might have to look at billboards out there, see how much it is to get a billboard in these tiny little Hobunk towns.
I know, right?
There aren't any billboards. That's the problem.
Really? We should put up. There should be like a temporary billboard company that just puts one up until the city gets involved. Oh, okay, we'll take it down and then move on to like the next city.
Right.
And just be a traveling billboard company.
Oh, I'm getting hungry.
You know, she's so ugly. I can't believe someone said she's got pretty girl.
Features?
No, they
are trying to sexualize these girls
privilege.
so bad.
Pretty girl privilege, and I was like, ugh, what are you talking
It's funny.
about?
It's funny how
Not much.
when in doubt, when women want to increase their revenue, they go to the one thing that
Patty.
they go to the vagina. They're just selling sex. That's it. That's the only thing that they can use to sell. It's sex and then drama. And the drama is the race bait. But then what they really don't want to talk about is how so many of them are in relationships or have been in relationships with each other. Ex-wives, ex-girlfriends are on the same team, fighting this person and that person. And then an ex-girlfriend stepping in for another ex-girlfriend because her girlfriend is fighting her current girlfriend.
They don't want no straight white girl on the team. You know.
No, they don't want that. No,
Don't want that.
they don't want that either. No, she's privileged. She's bringing money into the damn league. She's the reason why you broads is getting private jets now.
How can they afford that? They don't even make enough.
Bobby,
Hey, good to see you.
likewise.
You
man.
kind of like no Jay.
Right on
I know.
time.
Well,
buddy.
that's Steve is going, hey, we just had a listener call. He didn't want to go on the air. His name was David, and he just said he listens all the time, loves the show.
Good.
And he pointed out the obvious. He said, nothing's going to change until people are held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, just be sure to tell your friends, get out and vote. And I told him you were saying that, remember in November. And he said, that's a good one.
Remember in November?
Remember in November. Yep. So,
That's what's up.
yep.
Make sure to give Dave a shout out. We're getting some listeners, man.
Absolutely.
They're always listening, that's for sure. So,
I do want to talk about Mario Fratto.
Oh yeah,
You got it. It's your show.
he's going.
I just talked to him this morning for about 25 minutes.
by the way, in the music library, if you so
Got a lot of
desire to
support.
use at closing time, as you talk about the park being closed at night,
Oh, yeah.
Going
I'm
crazy.
sure these
Claudia.
guys know closing time.
that?
Closing time.
Yeah, the famous bar
Oh,
song.
yes.
I said
Closing
about the park being closed at night.
It's talking about the police officer that got Justin Timberlake for DWI was so young he didn't know who the hell Justin Timberlake was.
What?
Well, Justin Timberlake was 90s, wasn't he?
Late 90s.
Late
Like
90s,
90
early 2000s, definitely early 2000s.
Nine?
He had no success.
Yeah, 99. That's when they really came out.
What was the wardrobe malfunction? That was 2003, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
four-
then he
03,
blew
04.
up with, well, he actually started to do better when he broke up with Britney Spears. So that's kind of what he needed.
We only got one comment so far?
Oh, we got a whole bunch. Look.
Oh, I'm only on Facebook. I'm about to say.
Base plan.
Emily on Facebook?
century Americans celebrated Independence Day. Hear patriotic tunes, enjoy food and drink, watch a 19th century parade, even join in the village pie eating contest.
Oh, do you see Biden's gonna put $100 million into affordable housing fund?
Genesee Country Museum. Get more details and save
Where's that $100 million gonna go?
GCV.org.
They are sending so much money to these non-for-profit organizations
Yep.
now. They are paying their base big time.
NGOs.
You want to change the audio for some reason? Not for some reason, but they're hearing us.
To which one?
Last spot.
Well,
Audio to what is it? Use camera.
No, not the camera. The audio.
Audio
Under the top left.
to what?
Change it to the next one under.
Communications.
Sounds good. Then this X out. All right, we are back to talk that talk and bring that weekly dose of common sense back to this godforsaken city. I want to use that phrase very poignantly because when we have a city that has turned its back on God, what did we expect? What did we expect other than what we're getting right now? Now, you're back here with Lavelle Lewis, myself, D. Jose P.O., and of course, Dr. Bob and Bobby D back there. Now, you're saying before that Malik, there was a response to the to the multiple shootings, and they called him very good at crisis management. You believe that Malik Evans is very good at crisis management, or were you being facetious?
I was being very facetious. I was just making it funny.
I think that saying that out loud, I felt kind of weird saying it.
Well, both mayors are terrible at crisis management. One, the former mayor, Miss Warren, she was horrible at it. Like she literally blamed the riots on systemic racism, and that's about it. And then also how she handled her dope in the basement situation. That was
and the election campaign against her.
Yeah, and again, this is just about accountability. I'm sorry, politicians. You put yourself in the public eye. You whore around the city for votes. You whore around the city for respect, admiration. You want people to look up to you as the chief problem solver of our very city. Well, guess what? When you accept that role, you are going to get criticized by people who are going to evaluate your job and its performance. I think the amount of money that they get paid and the amount of attention that they get from their sororities, their fraternities, all of these organizations that prop them up and put them in this position, because no regular citizen that is not attached to that lifestyle has the ability to run anything. No, we need somebody that either holds some Greek letters or is a part of a specific lodge to stand in front of the public and be its fearless leader. And every time I see our current mayor stand up when 6 people get shot, the news literally was suppressing that information because it took a minute for it to kind of come out. Because I was watching a little back and forth on social media with either Wham or somebody else, one of the other outlets out there, that they did not get the information confirmed. And also on the weekends, a lot of folks don't work late on the weekends, so some of the stories don't ever come out, whatever. But there's footage of the shooting and whatnot. And then the mayor's response in how he's going to tackle this issue by shutting down the park early and then arresting anybody who's trespassing afterwards.
Yeah, there's not going to be any arrests, just FYI. There's only going to be appearance tickets and no one's going to show up to court.
He said it was, though. He said we're going to arrest you. Does he have that power to arrest people, though?
You can be arrested for, I guess, being on someone else's property. But then again, there's many other times that people are calling saying, hey, there's someone living in my property illegally. Can you get them out of there? Police ain't going to show up for that.
No.
So when are we picking and choosing when we're actually going to adhere to the law?
Well,
we're going to
if the park's
hold them accountable.
If the park's closed, then they're trespassing if they show up there.
Right, but you don't. at this point in New York State, there's no arresting anyone for that.
Well, my question is, why would we place some our resources in a park at 8 o'clock when that's kind of like, all right, that now you are stretching out your police force to go and man a park because of the situation that happened there, when usually, they're supposed to be around anyway. Like our downtown area, the East Ave area, Alexander Street, all of it, it is a live part of our city. So wouldn't you think we kind of would be a little bit more proactive in maybe putting some more attention there? Should we not wait for situations like this to happen for our mayor to go and present this weak ass solution again?
There's a couple different things that I've brought to the mayor's attention, this mayor and the previous mayor, specifically regarding the Charlotte Beach parking lot that continues to be an issue. And it's in my opinion, pretty easy fix that he's kind of doing here, but not really. He's saying that he's going to close down the park early and put more cameras there. I was saying for Charlotte Beach, put the bar down so no one can even enter in there with their vehicles, because that's when the issues happen, is that there's the Fast and Furious cars go down there, or people who want to smoke blunts down at the pier. I get it. Trust me, if I were a pot smoker, there's no better place in the world than the beautiful Charlotte Beach to go and freaking release some of your mind, I guess. But at the same time, there tends to be congregation of nonsense, especially before and after the bars.
Well, the mayor's a freaking liar, first of all, with the whole camera situation. There's always a camera on MLK because it's literally one of the shelters the city has.
But there's not enough people manning the cameras.
There is more than enough people manning the cameras.
I promise you there's not.
The city of Rochester is in charge of patrolling that, because that's one of the stops I had to take myself. They are very aware of that park. The camera is like so like spot on. If you're sitting in dispatch, this is the job, and the city of Rochester knows about it. There has someone in dispatch, there's someone watching that all the time. And there's patrol cars that come. They're supposed to come at least 2 to 3 times a 4-hour shift.
They're not doing that either, guaranteed.
So
we do have a caller.
Oh, get to the caller.
Mr. Gary, how are you?
Hey, Gary.
The same day.
Same day, yeah. Hey Gary, real quick, are you familiar with the gun laws that they have in Brazil, and also the crime that they have over there? Well, I asked that question. I know, right? Well, I asked that question just to make a point that even in other countries where crime is just insane, where there's a football game that's going to happen over there in Brazil. 2 green teams, Green Bay and what's the other team?
American football game.
Game. Green Bay and somebody. I forgot the other team that's green. Well, it's not the Jets. So
Eagles.
Yes, the Eagles. Yes, Green Bay versus the Eagles, and they can't wear their green jerseys because the gangs are so crazy and so insane that they'll shoot up the football game. That's where we're headed.
Well, Gary, I thank you so much for the call because I do want to jump into that. It's funny, the Supreme Court on Friday, I know we're going to get into a break real quick. I want to say this, ruled against a California woman who said her rights were violated after federal officials refused to allow her husband into the country, in part because of the way his tattoos were interpreted, stating, while Congress has made it easier for spouses to immigrate, it has never made spousal immigration a matter of right, said Justice Amy Coney Barrett, reading from the bench the majority opinion joined by her fellow conservatives. While a citizen, quote, certainly has a fundamental right to marriage, it is a fallacy to leap from that premise to the conclusion that the United States citizens have a fundamental right that can limit how Congress exercises the nation's sovereign power to admit or exclude foreigners. Now, I bring this up because do you want to know why the U.S. consulate in San Salvador denied the visa application, since neither or none of the mainstream media articles kind of actually want to get into why? I'll tell you why. They're talking about the tattoos, right? It was because he was found to be affiliated with the gang MS-13 due to his blatant tattoos that they all know to look for. Can you imagine a woman suing the federal government to allow her gang-affiliated husband into the country?
Well, John Podesta and Hillary Clinton and all of the folks who were sending those emails back and forth about pizza and hot dogs, if they could get away with what they did, I'm sure this guy who's a walking billboard for MS-13 could get away with this too. He should be. If they can do it. And they're trafficking kids, man. They're literally trading kids like they're Pokemon cards.
Right. Maybe if he applied here in America, they'd let him in, but he applied down in San Salvador.
They're doing it, but they won't allow it
right
here. Oh, wow. Oh.
Right. So they're doing
place
the right
to
thing
do
out
it.
there.
They're doing it good then. Hey, America's jacked up.
It sure is. We'll be right back to discuss a little bit more about how America is jacked up, but in a positive way. Again, reframing and retuning your mindset is the theme for today's episode. Call us 346-3000 here at the WYSL station. We are the Politically Correcting Boys. Lavelle Lewis, myself, the Jose Pio. We'll be right back after this. You say Malik?
Mm-hmm. New York won't look good.
Malik won't look good.
Malik won't look good. The Malik won't look good. The Quest won't look good. The Quest won't look good. New York won't look good.
They say they still can't hear the caller.
New York won't look good.
Did you move on those cables over there?
No, I didn't touch anything.
No.
I just.
We'll just have to keep using the actual. We'll keep using that one. That one's.
How's we got audio into this?
Oh, it's still the audio. We're still listening to the combo.
Is the audio coming off this camera then?
It might be.
Six New York counties that there were 338,000 more votes cast than voters who voted. These are just a few shocking examples of the urgent need for reform.
He's got instructions all posted there. How to make sure you get the audio that you want.
Again, volunteer, donate, or spread the word. Start at auditny.com. That's auditny.com.
Should it be microphone 1080 Pro Stream? Says no commercial or caller audio on YouTube. No, YouTube.
Hey Bob, somehow they're not getting audio off the console again. They're just getting the ambient audio in the studio.
Members come from throughout the region. In short, we are better together, and together we can move your business.
Well, since they can hear me, in case I don't say it on the radio, Vine and Tap this Sunday is doing a brunch with Greg Sack.
Plugs plugged in, and you selected jack audio.
Jack audio?
Yeah, jack audio, just like
Jack
it's on
audio.
Along with my son Zach, we're the owners of Flower City Collision. We've been advertisers on WYSL, the voice of liberty, for the last couple of years. So I want to thank the listeners of WYSL for their patronage, which has allowed us to grow and reinvest in the latest technologies to ensure that your vehicles are repaired to the most current standards, whether conventional or EV. If you're in a collision, Zach at Flower City Collision in Henrietta, and he'll work with your national insurance company on your local behalf to ensure that your repair gets done Right.
Politically correcting.
The mic.
Yeah, I love this song. What was that?
Guy in David gave us a shout out. He called in.
Yeah, David's saying remember in November. And we've got the Mike on the line as well. The Mike, what's up, brother?
Hey guys, speed up on Malik a little bit more. You guys forgot to mention that as ending part of his news conference, where he was only going to shut down the intersection next to MLK Park up until June 30th. Okay, why is that? Oh, could it be because the Jazz Fest is only a few blocks away? So we're only gonna temporarily shut down that park. It's safe about the park. If you watch that whole news conference and broke it down, he was only all that stuff he's planning to put in there is only a temporary measure.
Yeah.
It always is. It always is.
Band-Aid, always a Band-Aid for Malik. And then he lies and says that crime has gone down. If you can literally see kids steal a car and drive around your neighborhood,
Causing havoc.
crime is not going anywhere.
Yeah. Mike, thank you so much for calling. We're going to jump into that more because I'm not allowing this to continue on without holding people accountable. Unfortunately, when Malik first got in, I wanted to give him benefit of doubt because, I am friendly with him when he was on council. And even though he kind of stabbed me in the back when I was running for council, we'll let that one slide again. But that kind of showed me exactly the type of person he is when he said, I'm not going to get involved with your race, good luck, yada, yada. And then like a week before elections came, he wrote a letter to everyone saying that he's backing and supporting the person that I was running against, who was Lovely Warren's girl.
Yeah.
He is, right. So that kind of showed me the type of person he is. When I approached him about an issue when he was on school board, an issue I had with my son, he was getting bullied for simply because of the way he dressed, which was very, appropriate. He was going to a city school for all of 4 months before we had to yank him out because every single day, kids that were jealous of the way he looked and he was able to bring lunch, bagged lunch to school, the way he wore, I hate to say name brands, whatever, but a clean kid, and they just, these dirty little baby's kids were all over him every single day. Yeah, and they were white though. They're little white kids. It doesn't matter. You can be gangster, you can be a hoodlum, you can speak ghetto, you can still be whatever. Doesn't care about the color of it. But his answer's like, oh, there's nothing we can do about this, yada yada. I'm like, well, you can talk to the school about actually holding that kid accountable, because it was one specific kid every single freaking day. And I said, well, you're gonna hold him accountable, or I'm gonna have to show up to the school. We're gonna yank him from the school. He's like, yeah, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. And then, he came out with the legislation that took away funding for police during the BLM Summer of Love. And then he unilaterally decided that Charlotte and Maplewood was not going to get our police substation on 104 and Lake Ave. He decided that on himself after having multiple public inputs where everybody was in favor of it. And everybody wanted to have a police substation closer to the beach area because currently the police station is on J Street, way far away. Yeah. So he unilaterally decided that, and he doesn't know how to tackle the actual issues that politicians have created. This is the problem that I have, is that politicians every 2 to 4 years show up asking you to vote for them because they're going to fix the issues that they created. It blows my mind that the same people keep getting voted right back in. But I know that it's because there's plenty of people out there who are kind of feeling as if their vote doesn't matter. That, either their vote gets switched somehow or doesn't matter. There's too many of one side in one area. Their voice will never count because they're of the other side. Let's say, Monroe County is very Democrat heavy. Well, if every single Republican showed up and they got a couple of their blank or independent friends to show up, you would surpass the amount of Democrat voters. It's not a hard issue to tackle, but people have been so downtrodden for so many years at this point that they're just kind of giving up. And when you see that every single year at the election, when the numbers of voters continue to kind of just dissipate percentage-wise. You know, we got 215,000 people in Rochester alone, and what, 25 to 30,000 show up to vote?
Yeah, and declining too. What are you getting excited to vote for? I remember watching Malik do his thing during the Police Accountability Board creation. He was one of the original city council members to first bring that up for discussion. And you never saw a position for him. Like, why were you for the Police Accountability Board? Why do you think it's a great idea? He's good at creating like these extra parts of government to waste or cost money. There's $100 million that's missing from Rochester City School District. We now have a Police Accountability Board that went through, I don't know how many presidents. They got a new one now.
Yeah.
The former
Leslie Myers?
Yeah, the former president of the Rochester City School District.
School superintendent.
Superintendent, there you go. She was superintendent.
Right.
So we got the superintendent that left that job to come to this job.
Got kicked out, by the way.
Oh, she was kicked out.
And she went to Brockport.
And she got kicked out of Brockport, and then she resigned from.
She got 2 votes of no confidence from the school board, and then there was a sexual harassment controversy.
Yeah, against another woman.
So then she's in the Police Accountability Board that already has their sexual harassment situation, multiple ones.
She'll fit right in.
Right, and so you got to ask the question: what club are these people in?
Exactly.
How the heck
Exactly.
did she get appointed this position? She had to know somebody, and we keep putting these people in office. They know each other, and I know this because I can literally have a conversation with somebody that knows each one of these individuals personally. Rochester is a big city, small town.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know somebody that knows somebody. So Malik is not untouchable on that level of just people within the community. There's a lot of people that are like, and these are black folks. They have no idea where he is. They have no idea what he stands for. They have no idea what the heck he's doing for the city. But you know what he knows? He knows for a fact is that he's the mayor of Rochester, and all he has to do is show up, shake hands, kiss a couple babies, play some video games with some kids in order for him to feel like he's doing a good job.
And listen to how he talks. And he'll pretend like he's some kind of pastor at certain events. And I'm looking at him like,
Obama, bro.
You got the same energy. You got more energy during the Pride Parade than you do for the nonsense that's happening in our city. So you can't sit there and pretend like, and keep claiming that your father was a pastor when you yourself put more emphasis on Pride Month than you do on taking pride in your city.
Yeah.
At this point, you can see the same names. Every Democrat knows that's involved behind the scenes in politics, that the same names get tossed around to different positions all around the city, all around the county. The same freaking names. They're all in the same club. It's all one club, and you're not in it. That's why you need to vote. Remember this in November. Vote for the right people. Shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to Mario Frado. I'm going to give a shout out to him. I personally like that he's going up against his own Republican Party there. This Sunday, if you want to learn about Greg Savick, come to Vine and Tap this Sunday. We're having a bougie brunch in Shalat this Sunday. You go look at the event on Vine and Tap. That's my own personal shout out because I'm helping to host that as well as Greg is. It's gonna be an awesome day. You're gonna make your own breakfast charcuterie board. It's gonna be nice and bougie. Bring your woman. It's a nice date night to come out there, a date day to come out there and start your Sunday fun day off right. That is our show for today. We are the Politically Correcting Boys, and we promise you to always bring truth and honesty here on our show. We'll be right back on Wednesday and Thursday evening, our live Not Suitable for Work podcast Thursday evening. Have a great day.
Yep,
In the Rochester and Finger Lakes region, one name stands above all others for real estate appraisal and advice.
Ryan Murphy and Associates.
This full-service real estate appraisal company can appraise and advise on purchase and sales decisions, mortgage finance feasibility, estate, matrimonial, partnership buyouts, litigation, and more for any type of property, both residential and commercial. Ryan